Hi, welcome to my political show, Kavindu Political Times. Before starting the show, hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Now let's get started. Today on the show, we're going to talk about the success of the Biden agenda and many more. So now let's get started, shall we? Now, President Joe Biden manages to achieve one of his major part of his agenda, the infrastructure. Yep, both the bills have now passed the Senate in two different terms, in the which I like to call the dual power play. So let's start the exclamation about the dual power play. Now, the first infrastructure bill was the $1.3 trillion infrastructure bill, which passed the Senate by overwhelming bipartisanship. Now, even Mitch McConnell, which is I like to call the obstructor, voted for the bill. Now, Mitch McConnell and 18 further Republicans. Of course, there were some who did not vote despite they were in the conversations and the negotiations. But the infrastructure bill has now passed. Now, Mitch McConnell said, I quote this, his agenda for the future was supposed to be to object the Biden agenda at all costs. But now Mitch McConnell claims that Mitch McConnell and the GOP will support the Democrats on common sense. This is the problem. This is not common sense. This is a daily thing. This is something that should have been done 4-5 years ago. Infrastructure have been in the agenda since the Trump presidency, and nothing really happened. So on that's the first part of the double play. The second part of the double play is the $3+ trillion infrastructure bill, which passed by the budgetary committee. So the budgetary committee under Bernie Sanders. Now that's passed very well. It because of the budgetary committee, it avoids the filibuster. And it also eliminates the need of the Republican votes. So that's great news. So you have a $3 trillion+ infrastructure bill, and you have the infrastructure bill which was negotiated with the Republicans. So what's the take from this part of the agenda? Bipartisanship exists. You just have to work hard enough to achieve. And the media, like CNN, many of the media, what they have to understand is that without bipartisanship, you can't achieve things. And if you, let's say for a second they pass this without bipartisanship, which is the $1.3 trillion infrastructure bill, without a Republican support, they would have opposed this, they would have used this against the Democrats. It could have been a major problem in the midterms. So right now, the Republicans at the moment do agree at the moment of time that the infrastructure is an essential fact. It's something they want to get done, and the Democrats have brought it forward. So the Biden agenda is now well on the way. And I would tell you this. President Biden's approval ratings will go even higher than currently is. So expect to see those numbers climbing up. It's great for the country, great for the roads, great for the bridges. What else you truly want, isn't it? So moving on from that, let's talk about some political controversies, which I really love to do. Now, Senator Rand Paul, who hates Fauci, the head of the CDC, he has now claimed that his wife have purchased $15,000 worth of stocks on a COVID-19 vaccine firm during the pandemic. Now, he claims his wife lost all of the money from the shares, but according to the ethics committee, since 2012, a new regulation has now claims that within 30 days of your stock purchase, you must inform the Senate or the House about your purchase. Now, Rand Paul has done this after 16 months. So what does this make him? This makes him look like a liar. Rand Paul, he hates Anthony Fauci. However, well, you can't hate Fauci when you are a liar like Rand Paul you are. That's the reality, really. It's an utter sadness that the GOP that once managed to oust Richard Nixon out of the White House because of his wrongdoings are the same people are now doing wrong things, and they can justify it. And of course, it's just not over there. And one of the most infamous things I was keenly enjoyed during this massive thing of controversies from senators is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, I quote this, she said that the people who are vaccinated, I quote this, people who are trying to make people vaccinate should be shot in Republican states. She made this claim, which is extremely saddening. It seems like everything to her answer is Nazi Germany related topics or shooting people down. So why didn't she join the army? Come on, Karen, you could have joined the army. You could have done better on that. And of course, moving on from that, let's talk about India. Now, from the US to my neighboring country, India. Now, my current neighboring country. Now, India has blocked 5,000 Twitter accounts, of the opposition party, which contain pictures of rape victims, and under the Indian law, it's illegal. But there's a broader concern here. If the Indian government starts taking the right to speak and the freedom of speech from the opposition, what do you expect from Narendra Modi, who's already a racist, who hates the minorities, and a person like him looks like a dictator already? And I guess Indian people love dictators. It's something that's common in Asia and something to think about. So I want to be very clear. It's not right to cut tweets of the opposition unless it's extremely offensive. This is the thing. You can't use this scenario and justify Narendra Modi's or the government's actions saying Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter account has been shut down, banned. That is because she is a threat for the public. But the opposition is not a threat for the public. The opposition is there to question the government. And that is the job of a government. So this kind of proves again and again that Narendra Modi is a dictator and he should be considered that way. And that's a reality. That's a reality check. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. Thank you very much.